Yeah, I see it. There's a reason why you keep recommending that hero.
There's just
It'll be banned.
yeah, there's just a lot of games where Lina looks good. That's all. When I see damage that's lacking, and also some setup from the offlaner or the safe laner, such as Chronosphere, Lina makes total sense. It is one of these outskirts hero, and that's a problem. I would actually like Spirit for CDEC more. Any sort of a spirit like Ember Void, whatever.
How to justify into the Knicks though to play one of those heroes?
Doesn't matter. Like, it's just a Nyx. It's a problem, but you're not gonna go and pick Dragonite now because of the Nyx Assassin, right? Like, it's nice Morphling pickup. Like, we were talking about this last game. Why ban why ban Razor if you're picking Morphling? Because overall you enjoy playing against Razor. It actually forces him. Why ban him? And they have this. What do they have? They have Dazzle. Morphling is that strong? Not necessarily some great combo, and I don't like the supports on the side of Team Fusion at all. But you do get the heal in the lane from Dazzle, and that's what it's all about with these position 5s now.
I'm constitutionally not allowed to talk favorably about the Morphling hero, even though I do think Team Fusion is great. So let's see what CDEC can master in the counter departments here. Still need a mid hero for 7E to play. Zeus is banned out, no Visage either. That would have been an interesting hero to pick up in this situation. What are you feeling here, Nomad? What do we want to see from 7E? They need a little bit more tempo moves that they can make on the map pre this Faceless Void getting very strong. So spirits do seem like the most likely option. What are you feeling here for the boy 7E?
Give me a Snapfire mid. That's what I'm in the mood for. But no, I don't know. It's a hard pick for them. I would say. I think they're in a pretty difficult situation. You want to go for these high nuke heroes, but they've already got a Nyx Assassin on the side of Team Fusion. You want to play Lina into Nick? I guess I don't really have much catch for it. So yeah, I can see that.
You don't have last pick. I think Lina is the most obvious solution here. You don't have last pick. She doesn't lose the lane versus Death Prophet if she's mid. If she isn't mid, she still doesn't lose the lane. She's good with the Void. Is there anything else like that I can think of? No, I don't see a better solution.
Ooh.
Earth Spirit.
Okay.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, so what are we getting? Core Master or Core Earth Spirit in this game?
I have no idea. I think it's going to be a Core Earth Spirit. That's how I feel.
Yeah, they want the Spirit Vessel, right? They want the Spirit Vessel as early as possible, so they go mid laner.
They just want a mid laner that can roll.
Stephanie's like, I can't play Pango, but I'm going to play Earth Spirit. That's fine, boys. Everything's A-okay. I mean, we have seen in China before some experimentation with this mid Earth Spirit in particular. I don't know if 7E has played it. I'm going to check for a second. Would be interesting. We've also seen some offlane Marcies in recent times, so that could be an option as well. It's unlikely that this Faceless Void does anything but occupy the safe lane. Now we just need this last pick for the side of Team Fusion. Pretty much the pick that decides where Death Prophet is going. Is she going into the off lane or being played in the mid? White Album has quite a bit of time to make this distinction. And they have actually played this on 7E before. He has 15 games on the Earth Spirit. Last time around was last year in February, though. So it's a little bit unlikely, Nomad, that he's going to bring this one out in this game. But he has done it before.
Wait and see, baby. Wait and see. I'm telling you. It's going to be Earth Spirit mid. I bet my job on it.
Bet your job. All right.
We're in the final weeks of China DPC, literally the final week. So I bet my job.
In chat, Twitch, let us know. Is Nomad keeping his job? 1 or 2?
Yeah.
1 for he's keeping his job, 2 for he is screwed, and he's done right now.
Twitch chat can host for me next time.
Okay.
All right, let's see it. 70 mid, boom, easy, get wrecked.
My man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you've got an unstoppable timing here on CDEC now. You get the Eye of Scanning on the Faceless Void, you get the Shivas on the Razor, and you get the Spirit Vessel on the Earth Spirit. That's like minus 100% healing reduction. If you try and heal something, actually damage them instead. And Dazzle's going to kill his own Morphling. So that's what's going to happen this game.
I like the draft from CDC more now. Right? Even though there's some crazy Earth Spirit mid, I don't care. I still like their draft more. Like when I look at Team Fusion and I see these two supports, Nyx and Dazzle, I shiver. I'm not happy with it. I think the Dazzle is pretty damn good at the moment with the Shard as well. Shard has been buffed. I do think that the hero is strong, but I don't believe in Nyx. That's one of the things. Like I believe in Nyx in certain situations played by certain players in certain teams. As a random pick in first phase, I don't like it.
First phase, Nyx Assassin, generally speaking, the only teams that I see being able to make those work are teams that have Kaka on them. So he's done this before when he was on IG, done this successfully right now on RNG in Division 1. Whether or not Ponlo can pull this one out is a bit of an unknown. I'm not also that convinced by the support duo. And also, I just hate Morphling in general. Nomad, how do you feel about this? You said that you really like the CDC lineup. So tell me, how does Team Fusion win this game, despite a bit of a wonky support duo?
I still think it's a really good Morphling game, but I think, yeah, this Spirit definitely does a good job in answering it. With the early Spirit Vessel, they have options now at least, so yeah, good to have options. I think this is very even. I think the Ember Spirit, the one we haven't really talked about a whole lot, is also very, very good this game. Like, he's really nice to play against a lot of these heroes because he's got so much mobility and so much poking ability that he doesn't really need to commit to fights. You know, he's like the king of soft committal. So in that regard, Fusion have a lot of options. So yeah, I think I can go Fusion, but I am going to go CDEC because I kind of want to see a game 3. So yeah.
Okay, let's see if we'll be getting a game 3 or if my boy Pondler will make this Kaka Nyx Assassin work. In order to find out, we're going to throw it over to our wonderful casters, the dulcet tones of the alluring Nomad and the luscious Lizard. Take it away, boys. Talk to you after the game.
Luscious.
Again, he's trying to make that one stick, isn't he?
Luscious.
What about you is luscious, though? You don't really have much hair.
What do you mean I don't have much hair? Did you see my eyelashes? They're luscious.
Oh, God. I was so worried there for a minute. But Fishman's dead, so that's kind of more important than anything else, I guess. Who got the first blood? Oh, Razor. Very nice. All right, enjoy the offlane, lads.
Yeah, now you get the boots and the raid band or something like that. Feels pretty
3
good for
bounties as well. It is over.
Yeah.
Throw it back to Snare. We're done. Let's get the panel back.
Yeah.
Right.
Rank. It's done. Yeah, I like their draft. I like their chances more in this game, but we'll see. Still have to have this Earth Spirit do quite a bit, right, from the mid lane. Yeah. And they do have, you know what, like, Earth Spirit is one of those heroes that can do a ton if you give him a lot of early game advantage. Like, suddenly his level, like, 10, 15 are incredibly strong. Combo that with Fatal Bonds and he can wreak havoc on the side of Fusion. But yeah, we'll see if they can do something about that.
Unfortunately, if he doesn't have a good start to the game, the hero does just feel like it on the support.
Yeah, he feels like that guy that buys 2 bracers, and there you're justifying your mid lane farming priority for 2 bracers or Spirit. You know, it just feels bad.
And it does.
Yeah, and then he's kind of stuck trying to. Ooh, that roll. Okay, misses 2 lasters because of it. But yeah, then he's kind of just stuck getting, I don't know, a BKB forever. It can backfire. That's true.
Yeah, but hopefully 7E can make it work in this game. And then it's going to be very impactful. That silence, it's got so much utility in this game that all these heroes you want to, every single one of these heroes doesn't want to be silenced. Yeah. People like casting their spells.
For me, the biggest difference for Fusion is the amount of impact their position 4 can have in this game. Like last game, it was this crazy Tiny played by Ponlo, and he was doing a ton, right? This game, he's a Nyx assassin. Like, some games Nyxes can do quite a bit of work. This isn't one of those. I don't feel that this is a game in which Nyx Assassin should shine, but maybe Ponlo can prove me wrong.
Maybe, as we have a battle for the water rune, but 7E is going to have to roll in to grab it there, but that's going to be okay. So yeah, let's talk about this top lane then. I mean, Razor versus Morphling. It's a matchup you mentioned last time. You like it for the Morphling?
Yeah, of course. Like right now, Razor is perhaps doing a bit better. But first, you can't dominate the lane the way you dominate versus some other heroes, right, on Razor. And secondly, most importantly, in team fights, you just don't have what to do as Razor.
Oh, toss back onto God King here. He's going to be losing a lot of his damage at the very least. Probably not a kill, but yeah, they move targets now over towards the Dazzle. Dazzle trying to get away, and the creeps come through and save the day. Thought they were going to ruin him there, but they actually end up saving his life.
MVP creeps right there. We know
give those guys a raise.
Yeah, like we should give creeps MVPs sometimes as well. Like they do so much heavy lifting. Like they push the towers. They put their. There's so many these little guys die every single game for our selfish cause of defending the ancient. Yeah,
indeed.
And they never get. They never get recognized, Nomad.
I feel like you relate. Oh, God King once again taking some heavy hits here, and once more they'll move targets to XCJ, and he is going to get run down with ease in this top lane. This Marcy and Razor lane always gets kills. It is just so hard to play into, and that's unfortunately he's a squishy little pink dude.
Yeah, they always find work, and this Razor he had the first blood as well, has boots to raid bans. It's like in pro games. Having this laning advantage is so significant because players really abuse the fact that they got like a first blood on a hero such as Razor, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
God King getting really low.
Cheeky little bottle refill in the middle lane as well. Love to see it. XCJ just making the most of his death.
Cheeky Lil. Did you speak with T Governor as of late? Like, you cheeky little Brit.
I mean, yeah, we're just British, aren't we?
Yeah. God King, he dropped extremely low. He might die here.
Yeah, he's in the wrong side of the heroes. He's like, wait a minute, that's not my tower. Uh-oh.
He tried to get the courier, but sadly he deals 0 damage, so didn't help. Didn't work.
Not this time. Justice for couriers.
Yeah, so how's bottom lane doing though? Void actually winning the CS war against Dead Prophet. Meanwhile, Morphling losing the one against Razor. Razor on top of the network charts. So CDEC having... I guess they had a really good lane the last game as well, right? Like the laning stage was pretty good for them. This one even more so.
Yeah, let's hope that they can keep that advantage going this time around.
What do you think about 7E's build? Like no bracers, Soul Ring, and Magic Wand?
Yeah, it feels very. I guess this guy wants mana, I suppose. I'd like to see one bracer at the very least, but I guess not.
I don't think you're gonna get it. Yeah, with the wand and the bottle and. And the Soul Ring, there's way too many small items. I guess he's always going to have enough mana, right? And you're playing versus a Nyx, so that does make sense. Like, he mana burns you, Soul Ring. You can fight after.
And Imitator just coming through and securing the active rune for the Earth Spirit here as well. White Armor Manchi was a little bit... He could have secured the power rune, but he actually jumped the gun, thinking it hadn't spawned when really it had, and jumped down to the bottom rune. So a little bit of a rare mistake in the rune control for White Album, and that means that we're going to see an Earth Spirit with an Invis rune. Could definitely make something happen with that, but they see his rotation very easily here. So yeah, they're going to know he's coming in by an absolute clear mile.
Yeah, but can they do anything about it? Marcy's still in.
Wait, they just stay in. I don't know, man. This is odd. They saw this coming, and now look at the damage coming out from them. Complete disrespect going the way of CDEC here as they're going to get both these kills. First rotation for 7E, and it is a massive success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was scouted out, like you said. It was scouted out by the observer board. Not sure why they didn't just run straight back. They decided to kind of trade a couple of hits with the Marcy, and that just seals their fate, right? Like, Earth Spirit gets enough time to rotate in and finish them off.
Morphling couldn't resist just blasting some right clicks into that Marcy.
It does sound really good, nice, right? When she gets the ulti, when she starts hitting you.
Oh, it's such a nice sound design on that one. It's like banging a drum made of meat. Like banging a meat drum definitely sounds like a
So it's
euphemism.
something like Rocky, right? Like you're in that. What was it? Like some meat factory, meat storage unit.
Oh right, yeah, and punching the
Yeah, punching the meat.
Ooh.
Whack. He's fine.
Whack. Dodging it out, kind of.
When are we getting new Rocky, by the way? It's been a while.
Yeah, it'll come. They're remaking everything these days. Oh god, I sound like such a boomer.
How many do you think we're gonna get? Like 10?
We'll
There's
get a
still
new
8,
trilogy
right?
and then a couple of spin-offs. Yeah,
Is
10's
there
not
al-
very ambitious.
Yeah, is there already 10? I think there is, maybe. Not sure. Bottom lane, he has Chrono. They're diving hard,
Yeah.
though.
There's a 3-man chrono available here, and he can't resist. I mean, no mortal man really can, but he's just going to get himself stunned and killed, and Quack is dead. And now Razor comes in as well, looking to finally finish off Fishman here. We'll be able to do exactly that. So it's going to be 2 kills going the way of CDEC, as they do get some revenge. And now they look for more, but Wife Album's ready. But XCJ, is he going to die for this one? He gets the Shallow Grave up onto himself. 70, he really wants this kill, but he's going to trade his life for it by the looks of it, getting very, very low here. But in comes a Marcy, trying to save the day. She's got the Dispose, throws him back. It's not enough damage to bring down 70. The Earth Spirit makes it out, and, well, Imitator might be trading his life for this one. Undyne can't really do much here. Quickly, Fatal bonds him. Fatal bonds him. Oh, he's dead.
Undyne might die as well.
Yeah, I think he is going to. Stuck around a bit too long. Go for the TP. Outside of Fist available. Not enough damage. Warlock gets away. And a sloppy old fight there. It kind of feels like it ended up going a bit even, maybe? Oh, no, I guess you've got the Morphling farming the entire time, so Fusion will be kind of happy.
I felt that it was kind of even, or maybe favored for CDEC when Razor got some kills and Avoid died. But yeah, after all is said and done, definitely Fusion favored.
Yeah, White Album doing a bit of gamering here in the middle lane, though. It's going to be Ponlo who falls. Static Link going to work.
By the way, our resident statsman, current resident statsman, Snare tells me there have been 9 Rocky movies with all the Creed movies. I haven't watched the Creed ones. Yeah, I did.
They have already remade it. Okay.
I actually didn't see those. Gwen, top lane, God King.
Yeah. They've got the Static Link available in 1 second. Will now connect on up here with Mr. God King. He's got that waveform up to the high ground, though, and that means he's going to be
70.
safe for now. Yeah, 70 is not letting up. The rock thrown his way. Roll to follow as well, and they're going to be able to bring him down. 70 on a mega kill streak now, making this Earth Spirit work.
Yeah, where are you now, Soul Ring doubters? What did you say about his Soul Ring wand build, Nomad? How dare you?
Perfect, that I loved it, that he was going to get a mega kill streak by 11 minutes on it, and I was correct. My exact words. Don't believe me? Rewind. Just kidding, you can't, it's Twitch.
They do lose the bottom tier 1 tower while all this is happening, so a bit of a silver lining to losing your Morphling.
Wow, what difference is that going to make to the map?
It allows you to start converging on the mid lane. Like your teammates aren't necessarily as separated, right? So it also means that you can waste your time defending top. God King. He has Nyx here.
He's taken so much damage already, though, having to morph up. Oh, no, he's not morphed into strength here, but he doesn't have enough damage. Quack's still in the early days and can't bring him down. And actually, the Razor getting very low. The right click, though, is not enough. The Link stealing his damage. And now, hello, 70 joins the fray. The rock comes down as well, and they're going to be able to take down God King. And now Ponlo looking like he's going to follow him to the grave. Not before they pick up the side kill onto Undyne, though. At the very least, it's Wiped Album jumps into this party. But nah, they're done. They're done. They're going home for the night.
I'm actually very surprised that Morphling went top again. Like, he just died twice in a row. Yeah, he had a pretty decent game. He was free farming.
Yeah.
And now he just lost like 4 minutes.
And like they just took the bottom tower, right? Like that opens up the entire bottom side of the map. They've got it well watered as well.
Exactly.
Supports have basically like rolled out the red carpet for him in the bottom lane, and he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna go in through the back alley and get stabbed instead."
And I said that I wanted him to go. I said that I wanted them to go and defend, but not necessarily the Morphling.
Yeah,
He's the one that I
we
didn't
knew.
want. Yeah.
Fishman looking to make something happen in the middle lane here as he pops that ultimate for 70, actually initiating onto him. They're going to dispose him back. They want to try and take him down before he can get off these two siphons, but there comes a Dazzle. XCJ giving his life to get off the grave onto Fishman. Fishman, he's not healing through it. Too much damage coming out from the Razor, and it's going to be a double kill for him as they will defend this tower successfully. That's Exorcism absolutely pinned here. CDEC feeling good about this one, jumping forward, looking for the dispose, not going to find it, but the roll forward as well from 70, but also doesn't catch. And now the Nyx Assassin just going to sneaky off to the side here, and then her up as well. Just to do a little bit of scooting.
That was an owie. You go and you hit that Nyx. You kick that Nyx when he has Carapace on. You're like, owie,
Yeah.
my toes.
Stubbing your toe.
Yeah.
Oh, Imitator. Cameraman. There's an epic chase. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Basically, to fill everybody in, the Marcy was running around low health, and Ponlo on the next was trying to chase him down, but he got to the tower in time. It was very tense, very exciting. Put some music to that, some tense music, and you've got a Scorsese Oscar. Pretty sure Razor saw him warding there, but
Did he? I'm not sure. Like he was hidden behind the trees. Maybe he did. It doesn't matter because that Razor is about to get a BKB. White Album has no mana here.
I think Imitator's just straight up dead though in the middle lane. He's gonna fall.
This is probably the biggest difference maker in the game, right? Like Razor's BKB. Once you get it, you can start taking towers, start pressuring the map. But do you understand now why I had my reservations about Fusion's draft?
I do.
It just feels like later on in the game, it can definitely work. They can piece it together, bring it all together, right? But right now, it just feels like that Prophet wants to pop her ulti and push, and then Dazzle can grave her, but I don't know. It's so weak against what CDC have got. Nyx Assassin as well, just running around.
Is there a term like ramping cores? I don't know. It kind of feels like
Ramping?
You know, they'll jump in here as 70 finds XCJ on the bounty rune, but XCJ still got the grave, so we'll probably be able to survive through the magnetize. Let's see. Grave comes out and he's fine.
Bottom lane Fishman should not be fine though, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. We have a bit of fun here. Fishman doesn't quite complete that TP. But yeah, like by ramping calls, I mean like calls which get stronger the longer a fight goes on. And Razor is kind of like the king of that, which kind of makes Dazzle feel a little bit bad because you're like, oh, I'm going to heal you, I'm going to grave you, you're going to survive. But realistically, there's a Razor just zapping you with Eye of the Storm, bringing your armor down, you know, taking your damage as well, giving him more damage like that. Like, that just doesn't feel great.
Yeah, there's Razor, there's Slark. There are some heroes that...
Yeah, Slark's not a really good example.
Yeah, definitely benefit from prolonged fights. And yeah, like you said, this Razor will be linking anyone if he gets a chance. God King's Morphling is a perfect counter to that, but he has other things on his mind as Morphling, right? He's afraid of the Earth Spirit, the Chronosphere. It's not that easy.
Yeah, and the fights as well. Yeah, we just met in the game, and I was like, yeah, I click creeps. I God King.
Yeah. Need farm. Need a ton of farm.
Yeah, the hero definitely does. And like, I kind of feel like this part of the reason, I don't know, Morphling doesn't have any farming capabilities really. Like he's got no farming spells, right? It's just attribute shift, which does a ton of damage. But yeah, waveform as well. I guess. Fishman in the middle lane once again being taken down by this Razor. Once again, in comes a grave, but Fishman seemingly got a drop here regardless, and my point illustrated beautifully there. by XCJ.
Bonlo.
Oh, they managed to catch Ponlo out here as well. Yeah, dropping the sentry under the tower. Chad move. As they're going to be able to bring down Ponlo here with that. They're all over them.
Yep, 70 with the 5th fastest BKB timing on Earth Spirit. Thank you, Snare.
What the hell? This
To
is...
get-
What happened, Snare? Thought you were my guy.
You can go back to Nomad, Snare. I'll survive. It's
What
fine.
have I got now? I've got nothing. I'm just a pretty voice.
But a very pretty voice.
Thank you.
So basically, yeah, you have 2 BKBs. Another one on pack coming shortly.
Right.
And you can even think about going straight into the pit, forcing a fight there. Meanwhile, that Prophet just completely isolated. The Morphling is having a bad game, but that Prophet is having an even worse one. Yeah, you have XGJ there, but so what? Like you said, you get graved, you still die. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cute idea, but it just doesn't work against this Razor hero, unfortunately. Feels like it's a pretty bad matchup for the Dazzle. But alas, we move on with things. How's White Album doing at the very? He's having an okay time, right? He's been able to snipe a couple of kills on the backlines, bully this Warlock.
I would say he's the only one on Fusion when it comes to the cores. That's been on point so far, but even his presence on the map hasn't been felt in the last, what, like 5 minutes?
Yeah, not really. Only killing off the occasional support doesn't really feel like it's enough.
What's he got? A BKB? BKB Orb of Corrosion on the Ember?
Yep, that's it. Shiny new BKB, 9 seconds, available.
It's
Whenever
good,
he needs.
like it's good, but it's not as big as these BKBs on CDEC, right? Because you pop the BKB, they pop Chrono on you, you still can die.
Yep, or Rock if they need just an extra little bit of lockdown for you. Catch you out, as the case may be. 70. He's going to get about half health here by the DP and the next assassin, so not too bad, but then the Warlock just drops a Shadow Word on him and says, be healthy, my friend. Be well.
Morphling was rotating from behind, but yeah, him as well. He's going for a Satanic, Manta Satanic. Damn, that's some hardcore HP survivability. Polo.
Oh, looks like there's a bit of a fighter brewing in the top lane here. Xism going to be popped, and CDEC just say, all right, well, can we get away? Imitator absolutely cannot. Use the Unleash to just try and get out of the chains, but alas, 'tis not to be.
Exorcism used though, right? And
Yeah.
there's
They
still
very sure.
half a duration, so maybe you can take the tier 1 on top.
Yeah, I mean, a top tier 1 at 20 minutes is not really what you want to be getting out of these Exorcisms, I'll say.
Yeah. If they could have somehow combined that kill into a Roche, it would have been much better. But at least the tier 1, right? Better the
Yeah.
tier 1 top than nothing. So.
I'm so split about the Satanic on the Morphling because we've just been talking about how they really benefit on the side of CDEC from long team fights, and Satanic is definitely going to make the team fights longer. But it does mean the Morphling will be able to survive through them. But at the same time, if you can turn into that Razor, then that advantage kind of becomes neutralized. So
Yeah,
then you also don't have either Storm, so very confused.
the only difference now is how Imitator goes in.
Yeah, he's a deep hit, but they're going to drop the rock down. They don't want to take out the Dazzle straight off the bat here. He's going to be able to get off that grave, so will be dying eventually. Now they're looking forward for more. They could go for a sham, but they want to go for Fishman instead. The bash there from Quack. Can he get another one? He has got the Chrono should he want to use it, but they're trying to be greedy, and they're trying to make it last, and they're going to absolutely get away with that as Fishman dies under his tier 2 tower. The aggression from CDC is unrelenting here as they get themselves a couple of kills and now head back towards that lovely little pit.
Yeah, because there's nothing to worry about. You kill off the Dazzle first, you get a ton of damage on Razor, you go for the DP. DP also doesn't have ulti. Plus she popped the BKB. This means that Roche will most likely be completely uncontested.
Looks that way to me.
Yep. Morphling left. At least that was good. He wasn't trying to fight with his teammates, losing battle Instead, he just went bottom and continued farming. It allows him to fight some other day, right? And that's what's the most important thing here. You need to get this Morphling to some point in which he's able to solo carry you. But do you see that point, Nomad? That's what I'm asking. Like, this Manta Satanic for me feels... You were talking about the leash that you can steal from the Razor and compensate for your damage that way. Well, Razor actually has... if he doesn't have his Lincolns completed, he's very close.
He's got his Lincolns, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Sitting pretty. Going for Refresher next.
Exactly, so you won't even be able to link him, right? Like, you can link someone else, but then Razor gets to do whatever he wants to in fights.
According to Snare, it's the 5th fastest BKB Lincolns of all time. That seems... it's very, very impressive, actually.
Pretty good timing. They smoke up. This is probably some invasion of the triangle, right? Like, you're thinking, if you're Fusion, you would think that they're behind the Void right now. Still on top lane.
Yeah.
It's a cheeky one. The smoke.
They're lurking. Seeing what there is to see. But Fusion are making themselves elusive. They read the play very nicely. And they get themselves out of that hot spot in the map. Out of that triangle. Yeah, but the Void just being a good objective-based gamer, you know, he's not running around with his team trying to look for kills. He's shoving in that top wave. He's showing a little bit of caution now as his team start poking at mid. And now Imitator once again just going to break free from those chains and run herself away. But meanwhile, the Warlock has been caught. That's a pretty decent kill to start things off for Fusion. Now they look over towards Razor, but the Razor's a very tricky one. But the Chronos through on the backlines. They want to check out the Dazzle, and that's exactly what they'll do. Quack, he doesn't have enough damage to kill a Dazzle inside of Chrono. Finally gets the bashes off at the end, but he's going to buy back into this one. XTJ, he on the sidelines. Fishman's in trouble. Can they bring him down? Yes, they can. Quack gets a double. Now they move on towards Podlo. Podlo, Brave is out on Tim, though, so it's going to keep him alive a little bit longer as the Razor finally goes down. White Album looking for more. He's getting off good damage here, but the Dazzle will fall again as Quack will run him down. And now look over towards Mr. God King himself. Rolling from 70, that's going to connect. They've got the silence, so no strength more for you. The Faceless Void will be losing the ages with an ultra kill in his belt. He doesn't give a shit. And now they move in towards White Album as well. Can they get them the rampage on Quack? I don't think so. White Album is a little bit fleet-footed here to get himself away, but they want him. They'll kick him forward. Go, my son. Get your rampage. And with the bashes coming through the silence, it's not going to be enough. White Album, he's got that Remnant to play with as well, so he's absolutely safe here.
He's going to go for this, right? He's going to go for 7E. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that bungee cord attached, so he can just jump off the cliff, no problems at all.
Okay, so all things considered, a huge win once again for CDEC. They force a buyback, they kill off the Morphling. They do lose the ages, but it's no biggie at this point. And you can see just how much easier their fights are. It's hard to deal with the Chrono, it's hard to deal with the Razor. It feels like Dazzle needs to think about everyone and everything, and it's just not really possible. How do you feel about the Satanic now? Like Manta Satanic? He's going to be lacking some damage, but he's going for a crit to compensate as well. Do you like it?
Yes, I mean, I still think I would like to see the crit first, honestly, and I don't say that often. You know, I'm a very defensively inclined player, but when I see this kind of draft, I just want them to be able to rip through someone to start off a fight. You know, they go on this Razor in the start of the last fight, right? And they take so long to bring him down. The Void's just able to get a Chronos from the Morphling and the Dazzle in the backlines, and yeah, it's just not quite cricket.
Yeah. By the way, you were talking about different item builds. Void almost has his Skadi. Meanwhile, the Earth Spirit is going into Shiva's. Everything, like you said, I think it was your Snare that said, basically, they get these items and they own the Morphling. He can't heal.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, very hard for him to play into those two though. Like the healing de-amplification means that morphing strength is a bit of a sad situation for him.
It's like you're taking some stale medicine. Is that how it is? Like you take some antibiotics with expired
Yeah. You
date.
don't finish the course, it comes back even worse.
Oh yeah. You don't finish the full 10 days. How many times did you do that, by the way? I've done it quite a few times. I've been.
I think twice as much as I can remember. I think I'm gonna have to do it again though, soon.
Just to see how it is.
Yeah, it's been a while, you know. Love me some antibiotics. No, I've got a gammy leg. Scraped it climbing, and it's just kind of not healing. It's usually an issue. I don't know. No one cares.
That's you just being old. You have to.
Is that how it gets? You just take longer to heal.
Exactly. You have to just get used to it.
I need a dazzle around to give me some good juju. That's what it is.
I'd love myself some good juju right now.
I think
What
we all
about
would.
bad juju?
Not bad juju. Nobody wants a bad juju. We're on the bottom lane. This is Ponlo in a spot of bother, and Imitator will say, "Yeah, I'll take that kill. Thank you very much, 70. Thanks for doing the hard work here."
You can see how much different this game is. Chrono with the DD, never mind. No Chrono, debated. Maybe now.
Gonna go and hit him. Why not? I mean, there's a Hex actually coming out with that shard from the Dazzle, and they bring him down. Quack!
Whack! You just got whacked.
Didn't respect the Dazzle shard at all.
Did he see it even? Was that the first time it was used? It wasn't,
I think
right?
so. I think so. I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, that shard is insane, by the way. One of the best minute 15 shards. But yeah, he just didn't have to go for it before.
Minute 29,
70.
still effective, and now 70 as well. He's forced to pop the BKB just to get away from this one. CDEC, they're showing cracks. Will they crumble? That is a question. Imitator, he's got a BKB. I don't know where he pulled this one out from, but it's not going to get him away from him. Been killed off here, so...
What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened for CDEC? They had this game so comfortably in control.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's like over or anything. They're still comfortably 10k ahead, but
Just a bit of cockiness.
Yep.
Ono looking for the Earth Spirit here and somehow connecting with that
BKB, right?
Spike Carapace. There's another hero going down. 70's gone. Used the BKB earlier just to help himself survive, and Fusion are just pumping the gas right now.
Got like a 5-6k swing in pretty much 2 minutes.
I think so, Lizard. I think so. Not good. Not good, but, you know, they're still in control. They got to mess up a few more times to let this game slip. But for sure, definitely going to knock their confidence here. Heading into Roshan, which is an incredibly fast respawn. It's almost min respawn here for Roche, so... Big boy is back again, and Quack scouts it out with that Time Walk shard. Whack. Whack. BKB and Refresher up on the Razor, though, so he's a big boy. He's ready to play, but the Morphling has now taken the top spot for, I believe, the first time in the game, for a very long time at least. So he has that Daedalus completed. He's scary mode now. He's definitely scary mode.
As long as he doesn't get chronoed and killed off instantly, which he shouldn't. Like, on paper, you do have this Dazzle, and Morphling plus Dazzle should never be caught in the same chronosphere, right? So he
like
should be. Yeah, I mean, come on, don't nitpick. It happens once in a while.
Yeah, you get reminded about it. You're like, oh yeah, we probably shouldn't hug each other.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't hold hands and skip into the fight together.
CDC smoking up, going in. Refresher Razor.
Oh, this would be such a good pick on the fish, man, but they don't connect. They find the Dazzle instead. All right, it's a consolation prize. XCJ will fall.
Yep. Straight into the pit, right? He bought back as well before 50 seconds that timer. Double damage. Oh, Ponlo
no!
snatches it.
I mean, all right.
Was that good actually? Because it now allows them to perhaps fight in the pit.
Possibly. I mean, it's. I
It's
don't
like,
know,
look,
dying for the DD.
Yeah. Dying for the chance to fight in the pit. I think that's better.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
Better
More
terminology,
optimistically.
but
Yeah.
semantics.
Fishman?
Fishman, oh no, trying to run away, but the Lightning Revenant will tear him in twain. And Refresher Orb comes out now as well from Razor as he connects up with God King, and they're just going to sit here pounding away at each other. But his team's not here, so Razor's just going to have to back away. In fact, he's going to die to God King here. The Adaptive Strike will finish the job, though. Didn't have it. I don't know where his team were. I think they were chasing the Ember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were chasing White Album.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they will not catch him, it seems like. They did get the Aegis, the Rock was committed as well. I think, well, like, not sure what Warlock was trying to do there with the Rock. It wasn't that necessary, but it was committed.
So again, the cracks are starting to close up for CDEC, but they're definitely still there. If it's a vase, it's kind of like, you know, looking like one of them ones they found in the Roman times. A bit battered, but still very pretty and intact.
Polo, blink away, but is it enough?
KB, all right.
Like, one thing that I want to see is Dead Prophets finding a way to survive the Razor just running her down, right? So far, it's always the same. Razor just gets on top of her, and that's it. I feel like if you have Exorcism, you just pop it, and okay, you're gonna leash me and chase me. Sure, you can, but my spirits will kill you while that's happening. Imitator.
Yeah, BKB going to have to be popped here as it turns around on Fishman. Fishman going to pop the Exorcism. Can he actually find a fight here is the question. The answer seems to be yes, but the Chrono Spear comes down from Quack, and he starts bashing away at this Morphling. Can they get through in the grave from the Dazzle? It's pretty damn good. Now, can he get the Satanic up and start healing? Yes, he can. Turns it around, and the Morphling is back into the game.
No
but
crit.
the Daedalus is, the Satanic is now on cooldown. Can the Void take advantage of it? He gets a bash, but is it going to be enough? Imitator comes in and they'll get the kill. The Morphling's gone. XCJ, he's out of graves, and now have to back himself away. But they are giving chase right here. CDEC are looking for the targets. Meanwhile, the backlines, Polo gets a cheeky little pick-off onto the Razor. So it is a trade, but a trade which greatly favors CDEC.
Well, they lost the Razor, they lost the Chrono, they also lost the Aegis. They might get the tier 2, but at max it's a tier 2 mid. So overall, it was a win, but not a huge one for CDC.
The vase is wobbling again, but it's staying on its podium. And Ponlo, oh dear, that's another questionable move by him, I think.
Yeah, no grave there. To keep him alive was a little bit too far away with the Dazzle.
Yeah, graveless. You have an Aether on the Dazzle? No, he doesn't. That's a bit sad. Your range is already pretty good on your spells, though, I guess. But I don't know. I always like Aether versus Faceless Void.
On Dazzle, yeah, it's always nice. I mean, it's a very luxurious item to buy on Dazzle.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Like what do you want?
Very luscious item.
Yeah, very luscious. You want the glimmer, you want the shard. Aether Lance is amazing. Like, it used to be the first item purchased on Dazzle a long time ago, but not any longer.
What are you feeling about this game then? Do you feel like there's a comeback brewing for Fusion?
I have to say that I am positively surprised by God King's Morphling and how much he's been able to achieve in this game, but I feel that it's just so much easier for CDEC to win it. There is like definitely comeback potential. You have Ember plus Morphling cores. There is a way, but it's just the chances are very slim, I would say.
Oh, and middle lane as well, Fishman. I mean, Yeah, you talk about how impressed you've been with the Morphling, but I have to say I've been incredibly unimpressed by the Death Prophet this game. Which is a shame, because last game it looked so damn good, but this time around, not looking great. Quack. Oh, no. Chronosphere completely whiffed, but will it get them the kill regardless? I think it very well might. The Morphling, he's in without the bungee cord, and he's going to go plummeting down. Zoning Chronosphere, perfectly used.
He waveformed immediately, so nice dodge by him. One problem is he didn't have Dazzle or Nyx Assassin around.
Yeah.
So the two supports couldn't really do much, couldn't help.
Zonosphere. Pushing him out.
Zonosphere?
That's what it was.
Nice.
Thanks.
You know what
Razor.
I didn't hear in a really long time? Lodosphere.
The Lodosphere. Oh, yeah, well, it's probably because Lodo doesn't play anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I still I didn't hear anyone using that expression for a while.
Yeah, I mean, Dota players have brain rot though, so the moment something stops happening, they just forget. Jump in, finish the tower, jump out. I'm gonna say it again. It's time walk with the shard. It's like a bungee rope. Bounce in, bounce out.
Especially with time dilation, right? Jump in, time dilate, jump out.
Yeah, it's like super annoying. Can you not? So 25 nearly reached on the Faces Void. That'll get him some backtrack, which will make him even better against this Morphling. Yeah, very strong power spike for him. Meanwhile, the Morphling, he's already 25 and has those waveform charges available. Which is interesting, actually, because that means he didn't waveform in the last fight. Why? I don't know.
Do you think he had it in the last fight, or he perhaps just used it, I believe, earlier?
Yeah, that might be it. Maybe he did the old double waveform or wave down. Just to kill a creep wave. Usually one will do the trick, so... I don't know. I don't know, man. Brain empty.
Whack.
Whack.
Earth Spirit has that refresher as well, so a ton of damage will be dealt, ton of utility from him in this next fight. Is there anything big for Fusion? And Nick Sags is good, right? Like it kind of helps them in fights, but is it massive? I don't think so.
I still think he kind of just dies, right?
Yep.
Like, 40% damage reduction is good, but you're playing against Razor. This guy's just gonna zap you down eventually if they have the vision. Telescope picked up from the side of Fusion. That's a really, really nice pickup from them, actually. That is huge for the Dazzle.
Instantly give it to the Dazzle.
No, he's a core player. Instantly send it back to base so that Dazzle has to bring out his courier for it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. How hard does it trigger you when they get the item? You're right next to them, and they still send it base. Fishman, hold that thought.
Holding it as they move on towards the DP. His BKB is about to run out, and it's going to be a sticky situation when that happens. Dispose back into Quack, but the Brave is there. Golem comes down. Oh my god, the Morphling! He's just getting absolutely obliterated on the sidelines. He is gone. Instant buyback, but what does it really matter? Ember Spirit's still jumping in and getting something done, but he's going to get himself hammered. Now the Chronosphere comes down. They want the dieback on the Morphling. They're just about going to get it. See ya later, little puddle. You will not be an ocean today. And then they move forward to the White Album as well. The bashes are there, but it's not going to be enough to get him killed off. He'll get away, but this little Nyx Assassin, he's going to be put into the grave. 3 heroes dead on the side of Team Fusion, making it forward as they move towards the Dead Prophet as well. She is gone, and those golden Gs, she'll be coming out any second now as Ponlo will throw him down here. And Team Fusion will be losing game number 2 to CDEC. What a just explosive finish. That was just out of nowhere.
explosive finish, but it was kind of inevitable, right? Like, we were waiting for this to happen for the longest time. At least I was. The draft from Fusion really left me wanting for more. I feel that these two teams have some interesting ideas on the meta when it comes to the heroes that they pick. Like in the last game, Morphling plus Centaur. This time around, Morphling again, but with the Dazzle and the Nyx. I still do not know why those two supports were comboed together. Like Dazzle and Nyx doesn't strike me as a pair that's gonna do a lot for my team, you know, in the game.
Yep. Certainly something that we saw throughout the game here, gentlemen, that support duo didn't allow them to do much across the map. We compare and contrast what could be accomplished with the Smarcy, what could be accomplished with this combination of the Warlock and the Earth Spirit, Fatal Bonds plus Magnetize, huge damage coming out. And then from Team Fusion, it's like, well, XCJ, well, I hope you're nearby, buddy, so you can press W, because if you don't, suddenly our team fight, it does nothing. So I imagine that part of the rationale was, well, even in the phase of the game where the Smurfling is away farming on the map, we can just put this Shallow Grave onto the Death Prophet. She can roll into the team fight with the Ghost flying all about and dish out that damage, but it just turns out to not be enough. CDEC, good victory for them, and just a very strong finish. But it was a start to finish kind of game here, Lizard. It didn't necessarily feel like they started ramping up at one massive moment. Just from the laning phase, you could already sense that this is looking very strong for them. Amazing start in the top lane with that Razor Marcy. Quack didn't do the worst in the world on his Faceless Void, got all the farm he needed, and 7E just had a resounding performance on that Earth Spirit. I mean, it breaks my heart. Why didn't they dodge that first rotation? I feel like if Morphling survives that first one, maybe things are different. But what happened, Lizard? Why did the Team Fusion just let that kill happen in the early game?
It just happens. There are some things, they just happen. You make a mistake. It do be that way sometimes. But the worst thing is like Razor getting it. There's just a lot of heroes on which they get the first blood. Okay, it helps, but it's not amazing. On Razor, it changes the game. Like it literally just changes the game, because for him, it's all about ramping up those first extra items early on. And if he does get them, you just can't lane. No matter what you are on the long lane, you can't lane against him. And that's what happened. Yeah.
Nomad, we've seen this how many times in the past, where you play this offlane Razor and he sort of becomes a pseudo core and just becomes a carry when your main carry is not doing the job. In this game, like Lizard mentioned, he gets those early kills, gets to the top of the net worth, and stays there pretty much throughout the entirety of the game. This is now back-to-back games where we've seen the one draft have this Morphling relying a lot on him to provide the damage, the enemy team having multiple sources of that same damage, and that's what ends up winning out. Do we need to stop seeing the Morphling, or at the very least, if we do see Morphling, get something more around him to enable him to not be the only damage dealer in the game?
Yeah, I always like to see extra damage with the Morphling. I mean, they had that this game with the Ember Spirit. The problem is they just didn't have any frontline. So you want someone else to come into the frontline and try and, you know, tank some spells and be a bit of an issue, maybe a bit of AoE lockdown. I don't think this DP Morphling combo is something I'd like to see again. It was a little bit awkward, but I mean, this DP's game was just awkward from start to finish, right? Like, you talked about the Razor. He was 14-4 this game. You look at the Death Prophet, she was 1-12. Now, I don't really like to rely on KDA ever as a good standard of how someone's performed in a game, but 1-12, guys.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
Not what you want to see. For me, the one key stat that I always look at to assess a Death Prophet's performance, if I'm seeing a Death Prophet having done practically no building damage, then it's like, yeah, you were never in a really good position to utilize this hero properly these days. Feels pretty bad. And most of these replays that we see, the common theme that we're going to have is the fact that Team Fusion not necessarily able to do all that much, in the sense that if Pondo doesn't get a very good impale, if there's not an amazing Searing Chains from White Album, the team fight just falls apart around their ears, and it's just much easier to just press R on Quack. Press R, win team fight, makes life so much easier for you. This damage output from him, damn, like what could they have done differently here, Lizard, to try and prevent this Faceless Void from just running away with each fight like this?
They didn't have a lot to work with, right? Like, if they killed him as surprise effects, right? Like some dazzle with a shard or some random impale happening. Like that's when they killed him. That's it. I do think that overall, if the game went better for them from the early stages, it could have went differently, right? Like if Razor wasn't completely snowballing out of control, then everyone else wouldn't too. As it would be easier. Like White Album, you didn't feel him in this game, right?
Yeah.
Like it was always Fishman. He runs up close, runs up first, dies, and then everyone else kind of tries to do something afterwards, and they fail. That's also partly because White Album wasn't really that beast that you expect him to be, that beast that he was in the last game.
It's kind of unfortunate though, because he actually did dish out a substantial amount of damage in this game. 51k hero damage emerging from this Ember Spirit. But unfortunately, there's a Faceless Void with the Aghanim Shard. There's an Earth Spirit that can just get away from you. There's a very tanky Razor in front of your face. There's this Marcy providing sidekick heal. There's this Warlock just healing everybody up as well with the Shadow Word. So all that damage ultimately goes nowhere. Like, they were just kept without being able to kill these heroes for so long. I mean, this is another one of these fights. Look how low QAQ is, but he's in no real danger of actually dying in this fight. Team Fusion has to desperately buy back XCJ, but it just turns out that he's just buying back to be additional food here. Every single fight just looked like this. And even worse, Nomad, as soon as these BKBs went down, Team Fusion felt like they had, you were talking about how they don't have any frontline. They don't even have any survivability without the BKBs, despite having this dazzle in the background.
Yeah, I mean, even with a BKB, we saw Fishman going down a lot of the times regardless. They've got a ton of physical damage, even Imitator contributing a lot in that regard as well. Very, very hard to play into that. I mean, it's just a team you don't want to be behind against, so yeah, here's what it is in that regard. There's not much more to really do when you get to this point in the game. You know, there's no item you can get which is gonna make the game any different for you anymore. You know, as I say, it comes down to draft, and it comes down to how bad this laning phase went. If there's one thing we do want to look back at, I would say it's probably the laning phase, because it did go a little bit too badly. I would say for Team Fusion, they didn't really have a way to really play the game.
Those first 10 minutes just went very poorly for them. Overall, they got everything they wanted out of the side of CDEC. And 7E, our MVP for the day, showing us why he can utilize this mid lane Earth Spirit to very good effect. Gets the big, big dub out of himself. As we mentioned earlier, it's his first game this year on the hero. Hasn't played it since February of 2021, but showing us that he's certainly been practicing this in his pubs, because whew, looked hella fresh with his movement across the map. Turns out giving this guy a hero that can go forward always gets you into good positions. So before we go into this third and deciding game, we have to remember that this game literally does not matter. CDC already qualified for Division 1. Team Fusion not going anywhere, sticking here in Division 2. This is mostly about practice for the TI qualifiers. Before this break here, Lizard, talk to me about this. Team Fusion, let's assume they get a better draft in game number 3. Is their mentality going to be upended? Because usually when we see them lose, it's under these exact conditions. Them dominating game 1, losing game 2, and then feeding very hard in game number 3. Will history repeat itself in the series?
Why not? Why not in the last series of the season for them? Right? It's the last one, right? Why wouldn't it repeat? Because you know, stay true to your colors. Hold them,
break the cycle, break the chain.
hold them strong against the wall. No man.
Time, new beginning, new year, new me. Hashtag reinvent myself. Hashtag Instagram realities.
That's for the next. That's for the next league. That's for the next season.
Oh yeah, I guess. But it starts now.
It starts right here, right now. This is where it has to begin. I didn't even notice this a very late pickup of this, not the scepter, sorry, the Scythe of Vice sitting on this Razor. So Xiang Yu, yet again, just demonstrating why he is so good in this offlane position. We'll be seeing whether or not in game 3 they can shut him down at all, whether or not they can draft better on the side of Team Fusion, or if it's going to be CDEC yet again coming through with an upset against some of these top squads here in Division 2. And we will be right back with some more Dota. Don't go anywhere. Keep your eyebrows flexed and return fresh in a couple minutes for some more Dota 2 action.